Hola everyone and welcome to One Family, One Menu. Today I'm bringing you the perfect recipe for this season and for the holidays. My delicious Harvest Risotto, and you are going to love it. Guys, I cannot wait to show you how simple and delicious this risotto recipe is. But before we start, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Let's go over our ingredients. You are going to need 1 cup of risotto rice, 1 cup of diced zucchini, green zucchini, 1 cup of yellow squash diced as well, 1 cup of butternut squash diced. I am using winter squash because I had some, but butternut squash works very well in this recipe. If you don't have it, you can also use pumpkin. Half a cup of porcini mushrooms. I have reconstituted mine in a little bit of warm broth. Oregano ground, and half a cup of parmesan cheese, freshly grated works best. For seasoning, salt, pepper, and olive oil to cook. And on the stove, I have 6 cups of warm vegetable stock. To the bottom of my medium pot, I have added olive oil to coat the bottom of it. My fire is on medium heat, a little bit over medium heat, maybe medium high. Now that my pan is hot and my oil is hot inside my pot, I'm going to add my squash, my butternut squash. This I added first because it takes a little longer to cook than the green and yellow squash. I'm going to toss it around, coat it all, and lower my heat to make it medium low now. And I'm going to continue to cook this for a few minutes until almost tender. Once I see that my butternut squash is getting a nice roasted color, I'm gonna add a little bit of the stock that I have on my stove so it can cook down a little bit more and simmer for a bit. You're gonna cook this for about another 2 to 3 minutes. In order for my squash to get tender faster, I covered it for about 1.5 minutes. Now that it's perfect, I am going to add my green zucchini and my yellow squash. I'm going to toss it around a little bit, make sure it gets coated. Now I am going to add my reconstituted porcini mushrooms, and they come dry, so I reconstituted them in stock, in warm stock, and now they're perfect. They have a perfect texture. The porcini mushrooms are a great addition to this dish because they're very fragrant and they have a very distinct taste, and their texture is very meaty. So this makes it really, 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 really good. This is porcini mushrooms. If you can, and you can try to find them, you should. You can always substitute, but I feel like the porcini is a great addition to this dish. I'm now going to add some oregano. In my recipe at onefamilyonemenu.com, you can find this recipe and it'll say 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna add just as much as I like. You can do the same, depends. If you don't like oregano or you don't have it, you can also use thyme. Now, I'm going to turn this off quickly, and I'm going to put my squash in a bowl so we can proceed to cook the risotto rice. I have placed all my veggies in a separate bowl. I took them out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. And now I have all these delicious juices and leftovers from the vegetables and porcini that is going to enhance the flavor of the risotto rice. I'm gonna add a smidgen more of olive oil to the bottom of the pot. I mean, so little, not even a tablespoon. And I'm gonna just swirl that around. And I have here my 1 cup of risotto rice, or arborio rice, it's also known as. And I washed mine like in a flash. I just put it through the water just in case it had any dirt, but that's it. You want to not wash this rice as much as you wash any other rice that you're cooking if you wash it, because you don't want to remove too much of the starchiness, because that's what makes a good risotto. And the next step that I'm going to do is to pour some of my warm stock that I have been keeping warm here on the stove right next to the risotto pot. And I'm going to put some of it in. And I'm going to start to move it around. You want to keep your heat at medium low, not medium high and not medium, because otherwise it can get burned and it can evaporate too quickly, and you don't want that to happen. You want the rice to cook well. Risotto is a rice that you have to kind of baby it, because you cannot leave it and walk away, otherwise it can get stuck to the pot and then it'll burn, and then you have to start all over again. All right, now that our liquid has evaporated, we are going to continue to add our stock. And we're going to continue this process for a few minutes until we see that the rice is cooked. I think our risotto is almost done, and I'm going to add a couple more ladles of the stock just to make sure that it's creamy enough, because I love my risotto to be nice and creamy. And as you can see, I'm not using any milk or cream. So this could also be a vegan recipe if you like it to be. All right, you guys, this risotto is now cooked to perfection. It has a small bite, it's al dente a little bit, but it's not undercooked at all. It's really, really flavorful. And now is when I'm going to start to add those flavors that I told you about. So I think it needs a tiny bit of salt, especially because I'm gonna have the vegetables come in a minute. So it needs a little bit of salt. Definitely needs a little bit of pepper. Fresh pepper is always better. I'm gonna toss it around so all those flavors get in there and are enhanced. Not too much salt. I know that rice sucks in salt. It's like a sponge. It absorbs the salt a lot. But don't forget, we have Parmesan to add to this. Now I'm going to add my vegetables that I cooked earlier. And those I'm gonna fold in. Just to finish it off, and this is not part of the recipe, but you can do it if you want, I'm going to add a smidgen of butter. And I have truffle butter, which goes more than perfectly in this recipe, which is why I'm using it. Otherwise, I may have not put it in. But the butter's gonna give it a, and you saw the little bit of butter that I added. It was like a tiny bit, but that's gonna give it a velvety glossiness that is just perfection. This is half a cup of Parmesan. All right, you guys, this is ready to serve. All right, everyone, that was our dish for today. I hope you go and make tons of my Harvest Risotto. I guarantee that your family and loved ones are going to love it. Don't forget to go to onefamilyonemenu.com for this recipe and many, many others. Also, don't forget to click the like button for this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, press the little bell, which will notify you every single time I put out a video. Have a great day and enjoy your week. Bye-bye.